Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program. While you have been away, I have gathered a tiny bit more science. I went up to like 95 and then I dropped 90 on this. The space exploration. In that we get the ISA GPS unit, the ISA MapSat, the key wait no stop 01 Kerbal Unreconstructionator or whatever that thing is, the Pegasus 1 mobility enhancer, and the 2 hot thermometer. With those new parts, I have developed a new satellite, which we are going to put in orbit probably around Kerbin. It's the KeMU, or the Kethane Mapping Unit. It has 2 jobs, technically 3 I suppose. First job, it is mapping the kethane on the planet. For future reference if we ever need to know that. 2, it's going to map the topological data of the planet. It's going to map the hills and the oceans and such. And the science boffins, they decided they want to learn more about where we come from. And then hopefully they can extend that knowledge into where we will go. And 3, it's also going to act as a communication satellite. It's going to be in orbit, so we might as well whack some communication devices on there. Anyway, I expect this launch to go fairly smoothly, with no real worry, apart from it being the ugliest rocket you've ever seen. So expect this footage to be fast forwarded until we get into orbit. So I have realised an issue with my orbit right now. I was aiming for a polar orbit, however I have gone into an equatorial orbit. Let's burn slightly downwards here. So unfortunately, that's an issue. Ah dear. Let's kill our engines. Let's wait till we get to our apoapsis before it gets too high. We're going to have plenty of fuel because this is a 10-ton launcher and the satellite is only about 3 tons. So we will be able to do a plane correction probably. If not, then, well, boo-hoo to the satellite really, I suppose. Yeah. Apart from that, it's gone fairly well. Let us do our fairings. Swick. Swick? I'm going to go for sweet and sick at the same time. Let's do our solar panels. Nice. Where is the sun these days? I think we are on the dark side? Or is the sun up here? Aha! There's the sun. Good, good, good. Resources, we've got plenty of charge. Let us deploy all of our communications. Oh, those satellites are kind of close to the solar panel. Or those, yeah, those satellite dishes are kind of close to the solar panels. That should be fine. Let us point one at KSP 240. We'll point the other at KSP 120. We'll point the third, if I can find the damn thing. Where is it? We'll point this one at it. We'll point this one at KSP 0. So we should have KSP 0. Excellent. KSP 240, excellent, and KSP 120, fantastic. Let's consider burning for our circularization at the moment. No, well let's burn. No, we'll leave it. We'll wait till we get to our apparatus. Okay, we're coming up on about the place we want to circularize, so let's pitch ourselves down to -20 so we don't raise our apparatus. Hopefully we can lower it a little bit. That's what I'm aiming for. Excellent, we seem to be doing that. Let's raise our periapsis at the same time. That's why we're burning slightly prograde. Let's pitch down and maybe a little more. Yeah. Yeah, our apparatus is starting to rise again. I'd like that to be around 300. So I'm aiming for is a 300 by 300 orbit. Let's throttle down so we don't overshoot anything. Let's pitch down a little more because our apparatus is going to start rising again, probably, and it is quite high as it is. And we don't have the fuel to waste. This satellite is a mess of solar panels and satellite. Oh, I put the wrong solar panels on this side. Whoops, I meant to go for the long ones. Oh dear. That could cause an issue. In fact, let's retract these ones, shall we? Just in case that does cause problems. And these ones, there's one around the backside too. Trying to keep an eye on our orbital information though. We are getting to a... Oops. Okay, yeah, that's good. Apart from this one is not. Track that power. Okay. Our periapsis is rising again, so let's pitch down. In fact, we're about circular, so that'll do. Even. I'm happy with that. If anything, we could do prograde because we're about at our periapsis. Retrograde even. Sorry. Spin round to there. That's the moon over there. That's our fairing, probably? Maybe. Let us burn prograde, bring that or the apoapsis down some. If we burn... What would this be? 180? So if we burn 160? That might keep our periapsis up, because our periapsis was dropping, burning that way. It might be burning the other way. Let's try 200. Execute. No. We're just messing up because we're not actually at our periapsis yet. Oh well, that'll do. It's 5-kilometer difference. That's no big deal. Okay. So now we want to get into a polar orbit. While we do that, however, we can always activate our Kethane unit. Activate. And activate our... Come on now. Hard to see in the dark. That's a comsat. I want the mapsat, please. There it is. Huh. I cannot activate it. That's interesting. It might already be mapping, to be honest. But I would at least expect to be able to see the map. This may be a slightly different version from what I'm used to, though. Interesting, okay. That is strange. Normally you can get a map. I may need the GPS unit on it though. Perhaps. I'm not entirely sure. So if we burn now, we should start getting into a polar orbit, right? Changing our inclination? We are indeed. Slow work. The inclination changes are like one of the hardest to do. They take the most delta V. It'd be easier if we pushed ourselves further out, but then that would just be a pain in the ass, really. Okay, we're out of fuel on that stage. Let's light the next stage. Ah, shoot. We've lit the wrong stage. Okay. And it's hidden behind this. Okay, that's an issue. Shut down the engine. Are we going to be able to change our inclination at all like this? No, we're not moving at all. Okay, well this apparently is our final orbit, due to some staging issues and some design issues. This solar panel, I have told you to retract so many times, go away. Oh, it's because there were 6 of them, not 4 of them. Okay. Well, that was a semi-success. I'm still not sure why the map sat won't do anything. I'll have to look into that as well. But let's point the last one of these satellite dishes at... where's the empty one? This one. Let's point that at active vessel. Okay. I'm going to make some design changes, and we shall try again. So, unfortunately, Kerbal Space Program crashed, but we should be good. Let me check in on the VAB actually, because that's where it crashed. Let's see if it actually saved the correct version. Let's get the KeMU. I'm also hoping that you have seen the previous footage. If not, then none of this would make sense. Yes, that looks like to be the correct version to me. Okay. Let's pop that back on. Let's save it. Launch it. This is where it crashed. Hopefully it doesn't this time. It seems to be good. Yeah, it's good. Okay. So let's launch this again. Again, I don't expect any troubles to happen. What is this? I think that's our GPS unit. Maybe. I can't move it though. I've included a GPS unit on this version here. We'll see when we get into orbit, I suppose. So let's go surface. Let's go 1990, and let's launch. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm getting something flashing up, and I can't quite read. IPS, blah blah blah. It's the GPS flashing up every once in a while. So apparently the GPS is involved somewhere in this, presumably this window here. Whether it's freaking out because it's bugged, or because the planet isn't mapped, or I don't know. But it's weird. You know what I've done again? I've gone into an equatorial bloody orbit. Oh well. Okay, let's stage those. Lovely. Goodbye. Okay. Let's go for about 200. I'm not sure what the mapsat works at. Okay, we're in space. Let's do our... and the other one, our bearings, and do our solar panel. Oh, that's our communication, and do our solar panels. And that should get us enough electric charge. Just about. Okay, we may need more solar panels. So let us pick a target for this guy. We're going to pick the 240, and we're going to pick 120. And we're going to pick 0. Okay. Let us turn on our keythane unit. Activate. It's when I'm clicking and dragging windows. Oh, we're finding keythane. That's nice. I still can't turn on the mapsat. Maybe I need to be in a higher orbit. I really don't know about the mapsat. It's strange. I'm not sure why it's being that way. Let's see if we can find our GPS unit in the dark here. I think it's on this side of the craft. That looks like it is it. I can't get anything off of that either. Okay, strange. I guess we're going to wait until we get to our periapsis. Or an apoapsis, even. Keep getting the two mixed up. And we are about there. So let us burn. We want to get into about a 200 by 200. We're going to pitch down slightly by 5 degrees. Just so our apoapsis doesn't raise too much. In fact, it is raising now. Maybe pitch down to 10 degrees. Yeah, that's better. I could also maybe start my my transpolar burn, I suppose. But that should be fine. That thing, though, it's strange. I can't move it or anything. I don't know. So apoapsis is getting a little low, so let's pitch back up slightly. Maybe to 6 degrees. Oh, we got the spinny winny. Okay, now it's going to start going up at a rate of knots, probably. So let's pitch back down to 10. That should help things. It does not. Mapsat, go away, please. So we're 222 by 200, as good as. Let's try pitching up. See if that will not raise our apoapsis. It does. Shoot. We are on our way down in the orbit as well. We could pitch up all the way to 90, I suppose. Try that. That is in fact raising it. What about minus 90? Let's map that thing. It's gotta go. Whee! Do a spin. We are finding Kethane though. That's nice. Mapsat, you are finding nothing. Or doing nothing, I suppose. It's looking at the planet. That's something. It's got something going for it. Okay, there we go. Oh no, that is raising our apoapsis still. Okay, never mind. In fact, we could lower our apoapsis if we go prograde or retrograde. Again, my words, I can't get them right in my head. Let's do that. Let's lower our apoapsis a little bit. Just so it's 200 by 200. Or as good as. Okay. So let's go normal plus again. Let's double check our staging here. Okay, that should be fine. And let us do our transpolar injection. Our inclination is rising. Excellent, excellent. Let's get this up in this window too. Okay, so that engine is out. Now, if we stage... Okay, that engine dropped away. That engine fired. Excellent, that's exactly what I wanted. Okay. We might even be able to make it all the way up into polar. Looks good. Not low on fuel, or too low anyway. As this is a communication satellite, it's also going to get us communication coverage over the poles, which is nice. It's something we don't actually have yet. We're going to go up for another communication satellite as well, in an opposite orbit to this. Probably, at some point. Inclination is up at 42, 43. About halfway there. We might not be able to make it all the way up into polar. That was kind of my fault, really, for burning or launching into an equatorial orbit again. We might be okay. We're up at 55 already. We'll see. You can see our Kethane unit is mapping all this, which is good. Not found any Kethane yet, which is unfortunate. But we don't particularly need Kethane on the surface of Kerbin. Mainly on the surface of other planets is where we need it. Okay, so that engine has run out. Let us stage again. Excellent, we fixed that engine up proper. Can we get fully into polar orbit with enough fuel to mess around with when we're actually in orbit? That is the question. We're up at 81, 82 degrees, 83, 84, 85, 86. I think we're going to make it fine. 87, 88, 89, 89.5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that, my friends, is 90 degrees. Bang on the money. We're in a perfect polar orbit. If only orbit began with P as well, then that would have been perfectly pronounced P's. Okay, good. Our communication lines are going around nicely. Let us again point ComSat. Where is my inactive one? No target. Let us point at the active vessel, wherever that may be. Let's have a look at this MapSat again. It may be that we're too close to the surface, and it may be that we're too low from the surface. I'm not entirely sure which we are meant to be. However, I'm going to let this guy work its magic around Kerbin. I'm going to go slightly slower than that, so we can map every square, or every hexagon. And I shall be back with you guys in a second. Did you hear that dong? That dong right there, that means we have found Kethane in the ocean, where it's really freaking useful. That's fine. Kethane is good. Kethane is nice to find. I think we might be losing electric charge as well. Not quickly, but enough to be worrying. If we do indeed lose electric charge, then that's a shame for everybody involved. Oh well, we'll keep mapping here and see what happens. So I was talking to the science boffins in the lunchroom. Well, I was in the lunchroom. I was talking to them over the intercom where they were in their tiny little labs. And they had told me about this little button down here which brings up the ISA MapSat. This is our map of Kerbin. It's not very good at the moment. You can zoom in. That's the sun. That should be Kerbin. We can see our position on there. Scan. Raw. Aha! We can see... Okay, so we have turned on... I think... I don't know what raw does, but we have turned on our mapping unit. As for this ISA GPS, I think that was a mistake putting that on there. Could we get this little flashy thingy? But we can work around that. Excellent. We actually have the GPS maps app mapping the Kerbal land. We can also track anomalies with it. We can also bring up the Kerbalpedia. But anomalies are things like the monoliths and such. It's one of the special purposes that the science boffins added to the mapsat. So we'll be able to look at that. We can also bring up the KSC, where that is. We can also change it to like projection. We can go for ISA. We can go for polar. Go for biome, which is fun. Scan, I guess that turns it on completely raw. I think that's storing the raw data, so we can use that for other mapping purposes. But yes, we are mapping Kerbin itself. It is wonderful. Yes, we found some more kethane too. Big pocket of kethane right over the mountains here. That's fun. Anyway, I guess we could launch a new vessel somewhere, or yeah, I think we're gonna launch one of these satellites around the moon. I think that's what we're gonna aim for next. Hopefully we can fit it into the same episode.